Hello, good evening, students. Am I audible to everyone? If I'm audible, please put in the chat box. Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, fine. So, students, today we are going to revise the complete syllabus, like complete syllabus for second semester. Okay, and if you people have doubt about particular topic, then you can ask me, right? अगर आपको कोई एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक में डाउट है तो आप मुझे बता सकते हो यहाँ पे आपका माइक ऑन करके and we'll discuss that too. Okay. So I think we were continuing with linear equations in two variable, right? So linear equations in two variable पे हमने बहुत सारी बात कर ली. First equation in one variable, equation in one variable क्या होता है, equation in two variable क्या होता है, how many equations are required in order to solve the equation in two variable, ये सारी चीजें हमने डिस्कस कर ली, right? So I don't think we need to go again to the basics and learn about those things. Okay. So we'll just continue from where we left in the last class about this particular chapter topic. Okay. The linear equation in two variable. So this was our practice set 5.2, and I guess that was the last practice. Okay. So we don't need to revise linear equations in two variables. If you have doubt, any kind of a doubt in linear equation chapter, you can ask me in today's lecture. So our next topic, that is financial planning. Okay, so we'll quickly revise the chapter. After that, I'll take your doubts as well. Okay, so please keep your doubts ready. Don't be shy to ask your doubts. Okay, you can ask your doubts because I think a few of you are having your exams in the next week, next week, I guess, right? आप में से कुछ लोगों के एग्जाम्स नेक्स्ट वीक में भी है, बराबर? Right, students? Are you able to hear me? Please put your put your exam date. When do you have your exams? Everyone, just put the what we can say, yeah, temporary date or put your dates. 15. Okay. Anuj is having his exam on 15th. Okay. Dheeraj is also having exam on 15th. Okay. J school hasn't decided yet. Yeah, fine. Okay. So let's move ahead with the chapter. Okay, you both are from the same school, Jay and Maitreya, right? That's good. No problem. Okay. So savings. Okay, we don't we won't be covering up theory. We will be focusing on the examples only, right? So yeah, Maitreya and Jay are benchmates also. That's good. Now let's take example one. But before that, just give me a few seconds, students. Okay, so that I'll see and whether the syllabus that has been eliminated, we won't be revising that syllabus. Okay, so just give me a few seconds. Wait, huh? Few seconds only. Okay, so page number 98 is excluded from your syllabus, right? Where is, yeah, this must be the reduced portion activity. Okay, so yeah, we can revise the examples. No issues. So Shamrao's income in 2015-16 after paying all taxes is 6,40,000. He pays RS 2,000 per month for insurance and 20% of his annual income into his provident fund. He puts aside Rs 500 per month for emergencies. How much money does he have for the yearly spending? So what we need to find out, see, first of all, annual income is 6,40,000 rupees, out of which insurance premium is 2,000 per month, which is 2,000 multiplied by 12, that is 24,000 per month. Sorry, 20 per 24,000 per annum is the insurance premium. Contribution to PF, that is provident fund. So that is 20% of his salary, that is 1,28,000 rupees. Now, amount put aside for emergencies, that is 500 per month, which is equals to 500 multiplied by 12, equal to 6,000 rupees per annum. So total expenditure is C, 24,000 plus 1,28,000 plus 6,000, that equals to 1,58,000. So total income minus total expenditure, that remains the that gives us the money remaining for yearly spending. Okay, so that is the money which is left behind. So what we have done here, we have just calculated, or we have multiplication is here, percentage calculation is here, again multiplication, addition and subtraction. So these are the basic calculations we are doing here, right? So yeah, fine, let's move further, move ahead. Yeah, we'll take one or two examples from this practice set so that you will understand uh, what kind of examples you are going to face in the examination. Alka spends, first example, I'm talking about the first example. Alka spends 90% of the money that she receives every month, and saves Rs 120. How much money does she get monthly? So yeah, you can find out. Okay, you can try and find out. Everyone, this task is for you. This is easy example. You can solve this example and let me know the answers in the chat box or by turning on your mic also. No issues. Yeah, solve the example. Alka spends 90% of the money that she receives every month. मतलब उसे एक महीने में जितना जितना पैसा मिलता है उसका वो 90% खर्च कर देती है, राइट? एंड अभी 90% अगर खर्च कर रही है, सो हाउ मच मनी इज लेफ्ट, हाउ मच परसेंट? 10%, right? 10% money is left. So she saves 120 rupees. 120 rupees is equals to 10%, right? 120 rupees is equals to 10%, मतलब वो 10% सेव कर रही है, यानी कि 120 रुपीज सेव कर रही है. So 10% is 120, so 100% is how much? 1200 rupees, right? Right, everyone? Right in the chat box if you agree with me and Maitreya. Everybody has to give answers. Okay. Dheeraj, Avigna, Jay, Anuj, everyone put answer. No? See, if you are lazy enough to put in the chat box, you can turn on your mic also. No issues. Okay. So I know you all are sincere students, so you can keep your mic on all the time, but make sure your background noise is not disturbing other students. Okay. So you can keep your mic on and answer. No problem. No issues with that. Yeah, fine. So this is first one. First one is always easy. Now let's take the fifth one. Oh, wow. Yeah. Now I have started getting good answers. The Dheeraj has given answer. Alka receives 1,200 rupees, which is a very appreciable. Okay. You have to give answer like this if possible. But it takes time for typing, so I don't expect that. Now, question fifth is, see, these three questions will be of intermediate level. This will be of little hard level. This is the last question, I guess, right? So Samira spent 90% of her income and donated 3% for socially useful causes, if she left with 1750 rupees at the end of the month, what was her actual income? Now, my first question to all of you is, how much percent does she spend? Or, yeah, we can say spent. How much percent? 93% she spent, right? How much percent she do have? She have 7%. Now, 7% is equals to 1750. Okay. So how you gonna calculate how much money does she or what is her actual income? How? See, 7%, 7% of what? Of X. We don't know how much income is there. So 7% of X is equals to how much? 1750 rupees. Correct. So you can solve this. What we will do, we'll take 100 into multiplication, 7 into divide. Now X is equals to 175,000. This 100 is multiplied with this and divided by 7, right? So 7 1 is 7, 7 to the 20, 7 to the 14, 3 is remaining. So 3 is remaining. 17, 7 5s are 7 5 are 35, right? 7 5 are 35. This 5 and these 3 zeros as it is. So X is equals to 25,000. So X is what? X is the value that is her income. Samira's income is 25,000. Okay. So this is Samira's income. Did you people get it? आप लोगों को समझ में आया? आप लोगों ने किया ये एग्जांपल सॉल्व किया? चलो रब दस. Good. Now, levying of taxes or taxation. Now, this chapter is about financial planning. So we have to learn about taxes as well. So we have seen direct taxes, indirect taxes. So we'll not go into theory part. We'll just solve the examples. Now, financial year and assessment year. So financial year is 16-17. That is 1st of April 2016 to 31st of March 2017. That is called as a financial year, and assessment year is called as 2017 to 2018. Likewise, for 2017-2018 as a financial year, we have 2018-2019 as a assessment year. So we have seen the PAN number as well, permanent account number. Everybody must be having PAN card with you, right? So we have seen that theory part. Now, computation of income tax. This is very important. How income tax is computed. Now, income tax computation changes as per the age as well as per the income. Okay. So we have given table 1. Individuals up to the age of 60 years. अभी ये जो table है ये किन के लिए valid है? This table is valid for individuals whose age is less than 60 years. Now, if the income is up to 2,50,000, there is no income tax, no education cess, and no secondary and higher education cess. Okay, higher education cess भी इसपे नहीं है. Now, if the income is 2,50,001 to 5 lakh, then 5% on taxable income minus 2,50,000. अभी 2,50,000 हमें माइनस करना है किसमें से? जो कुछ भी एक्चुअल इनकम है उसमें से, एंड 5% ऑफ दैट विल बी द इनकम टैक्स. 2% ऑफ इनकम टैक्स एंड 1% ऑफ एजुकेशन, हायर एजुकेशन. सिमिलरली टेबल देखिए, 5 लाख से लेके 10 लाख तक अगर इनकम है तो 12,500 प्लस 20% ऑन टैक्सेबल इनकम माइनस 5 लाख. ओके, टैक्सेबल इनकम में से 5 लाख सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे तो हमें ये सब चीजें इसमें ऐड करना पड़ेगा, तो हमें इनकम टैक्स मिल जाएगा. ओके, सो ये चीजें आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. मोस्टली आपको ये एग्जाम में दिया जाएगा. ठीक है, ये जो टेबल है ना, आई डोंट थिंक कि आपको ये रिमेंबर करने की जरूरत है, बिकॉज that is not the purpose of mathematics to make you things mug up. Okay, you just have to observe the table, and according to you have to solve the examples, right? सो आई डोंट थिंक कि आपको ये टेबल याद करने की जरूरत है। मे बी अगर आप इस पे कोई क्वेश्चन आता है तो आपको ये टेबल भी जरूर दिया जाएगा एग्जाम में। ओके, सो that table was for citizens whose age is having up to 60 years. Now this table is for senior citizens of age 60 to 80 years, right? And this table is for citizens having age above 80 years. So by observing the table, you can calculate the taxes, income taxes. So let's take the first solved example. Mr. Matre is 50 years old. Now for this particular example, we have to refer to table 1. Okay, अभी मिस्टर मात्रे का एज कितना है? मात्रे का एज है 50 years. So it comes in criteria of first table. Now his gross income is 12 lakh rupees. See, 12 lakh rupees, right? He has invested in the following amounts in different schemes. So उसका इंश्योरेंस स्कीम है 90,000, इन्वेस्टमेंट इन प्रीमियम प्रोविडेंट फंड है 25,000, इन्वेस्टमेंट है इन पीपीएफ 15,000, नेशनल सेविंग सर्टिफिकेट है 20,000 का। फाइंड आउट द परमिसिबल डिडक्शंस, इनकम टैक्स, taxable income and income tax payable. So total yearly income is 12 lakh rupees. Total savings under section 80C. Now if we add all of this, so it comes to 1,50,000, which is permissible. Okay, under the section 80C, maximum deduction of 1,50,000 is permissible. Let me just open the book in another tab as well so that I can show you side by side. Right. Yeah, here you can see generally the maximum permissible deduction to various kind of saving under section 80C is 1,50,000. So that might be Sukanya Samruddhi scheme for girls, that is 1.5 lakh, investment in post department for 5 years, national saving certificate scheme, NSCs, LIPs, national life insurance policies, health insurance, tuition fees for 2 children, PF provident fund, housing loan, mutual funds, and GPF, that is general provident fund. So 1,50,000 is permissible deduction. This much deduction is permissible. So let's get back to our question. So taxable income is amount in 1 minus amount in 2. That means total income minus the deductions. Permissible deductions, जितना allowed है उतना deduction हम मार लेंगे उसमें। तो क्या होता है अभी? That is 10,50,000. We shall use table 1 to calculate Mr. Matre's total income. Mr. Matre's income will be 10,50,000, which is greater than 10 lakh rupees. According to table 1, taxable income is equals to 1,12,500 plus 30%. So I'll show you the table 1 as well. See, if the income is more than 10 lakh rupees, so tax, how much tax he has to pay, or he or she has to pay? 1,12,500 plus 30%. Okay, so see how do we calculate that? So 1,12,000 plus 50,000 into 30%. Now why we took 50,000? Because we have to subtract 10 lakh rupees. Okay, 10,50,000 में से 10 लाख रुपए हमें सब्ट्रैक्ट करना पड़ेगा, लोअर लिमिट है ना वो, तो लोअर लिमिट हम सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे. So 50,000 will be taxable income, right? 50,000 will be taxable income, and 30% on that income. उस पे कितना रहेगा? 50,000 का 30%. So इस तरीके से 1,27,500 will be the income tax. We must include 2% education cess and 1% educational and higher education cess. So that is, this is 2% is this and 1% is this. So income tax will be 1,31,325 rupees. Okay. Now see, this cess, I wasn't showing this screen to you. You should have told me, no? I forgot to show you. Okay, so I have to repeat it again. Now, see, total taxable income is 10 lakh 50,000, but the lower limit is 10 lakh rupees. So what we will do, we will subtract 10 lakh rupees from 10 lakh rupees 50,000. So we will get taxable income that is equals to 50,000. अभी 50,000 का भी कितना पे करना है, 50,000 का भी 30% पे करना है. तो 50,000 का 30% होता है 15,000 and that will be the income tax. So income tax कितना आता है 1,27,500. So this is the income tax we have to pay, or he has to pay educational cess and higher educational cess as well. That is 2% and 1% respectively of the income tax. So 2% of income tax is this, 1% of income tax is this. So total tax payable is this. Did you understand? Everyone understand? Or if anyone is having doubt, you can put in the chat box. I'll repeat it. Right? If no doubt, we'll move further. No doubt. Fine. Good. Good, Dheeraj. Yeah. I need response from everyone, right? Okay. No doubt. Fine. Anuj, Avigna, Jay. Although you don't have doubt, but I have doubt that these three people are whether attending the class or not. So can you three please resolve my doubt that you are attending the class? Show your presence. Okay. Anuj is there. Avigna is there. Right. Okay. Jay is also there. Very good. Fine. So this is how we calculate the taxes. Okay. Now what are the things to remember here? Not to mug up. Okay. What are the things to remember? First thing is age of the candidate. First criteria is age. So according to age, you will refer to the table. Okay. First thing is that. Second thing is his income. How much income does he have, or does he or she earns? Okay. So income के बाद में क्या चीज हमें ध्यान में रखना है? डिडक्शंस कितने अलाउड है? 1,50,000 तक अलाउड है. अगर उससे ज्यादा भी होते हैं तो वो भी हमें 1,50,000 ही कंसिडर करना है, लेकिन उससे अगर कम होते हैं तो हमें कम कंसिडर करना है. राइट. So that is the second thing, deductions. Now the now what we have, what we are left with, we are left with the टैक्सेबल इनकम. अभी टैक्सेबल इनकम में से हमें लोअर लिमिट सब्ट्रैक्ट करना है. लोअर लिमिट सब्ट्रैक्ट करके एक फिक्स्ड अमाउंट रहता है और उसमें कुछ परसेंट हमें और टैक्स ऐड करना पड़ता है ऑफ द टैक्सेबल इनकम. वो ऐड कर लिया, सो दैट विल बी इनकम टैक्स. अभी इनकम टैक्स का भी हमें एजुकेशन सेस और सेकेंडरी एंड हायर सेकेंडरी सेस कैलकुलेट करना पड़ता है. सो ये तीन चीजें कैलकुलेट करके हमें ऐड करके दैट इज द फाइनल पेएबल टैक्स. This is how we get. Okay, so this is the process, this is the flow chart you need to remember. Okay. Now, what is this practice set about? Yeah, to solve this practice set, or to solve this example, you need to have tables, the given tables in front of you, so that you can take you can tell whether he or she has to pay the tax or not. These things. So you need to refer tables, so that is easy. Okay, that there is nothing like solving mathematics in it. Okay, rather than we can move further. So that was your chapter 6. Now let's take the statistics. There are certain things that are maybe confusing in the statistics chapter. Okay, so we will take the statistics chapter. Yeah, see, joint bar graph. First thing is joint bar graph. Okay, it shows the comparison of two entities or quantities. Okay, so for this, that is a jar and wheat. Yeah, okay. So production of jar and wheat in the year 2010, 2012, and 2011 is shown here. Okay, 1 centimeter is equals to 10 quintal. So we can give answers accordingly. That is a uh, joint bar graph, is it? Right. Joint bar diagram. Now subdivided bar diagram. Subdivided bar diagram is like this. There is only one bar and it is divided into two parts, which shows the comparison of two entities. That is subdivided bar diagram. So I don't think questions will be asked on the bar graphs because you have learned those concepts in the previous standard itself. So percentage bar diagram. So percentage bar diagram is very much important. For that, you need to know how to calculate percentage first. Okay. So 30%. Let us say I ask you 30% of 200. So you'll quickly give answer that is 60. Right. 30% of 200 is 60. So how do we calculate? See, 30%. 30% में यानी कि per 100, 30 per 100 out of how much? 200. 30% of 200 is how much? 100. These two zeros gets cancelled with these two zeros, and 30 multiplied by 2 is 60. Okay, so 30% of 200 is 60. So this is how calculated. Now you have to remember this formula. And uh, here comes 100 always. Okay, 100 will be here only always. This is percentage. This is percentage. Okay, how much percent? This is the total sum. This is what? This is total sum. And this value is this percent of this value. Okay, matlab ki 60 is 30% of 200. You have to remember in such a way so that you will be able to calculate any kind of a percentage. Now percent bar diagram में क्या है कि सारे अपने आपके जो बार रहेंगे they will be touching to 100. Right, if you see in this diagram, all the bar are touching to 100, but that does not means that all the or the three quantities are equal. These three quantities are equal. That is not necessary. Okay, so we are considering them as a them in a percentage form. Okay, so wheat is how much percent? 75% here. So remaining is jowar, that is 25%. Similar for this, jowar is 30%, wheat is 70%. Jowar is 20%, wheat is 80%. Okay, so इसी की तरह मतलब इसी तरह से अकॉर्डिंगली हमें परसेंटेज की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करनी होती है. Yeah. So this is again I think percentage bar diagram. So we'll just take the practice of how to calculate percentage. Now आसाम में 100 बॉयज है तो 960 गर्ल्स है. टोटल 1960 population है. Now percentage of boys, how much percent boys are there? So 51% boys are there and 49% girls are there. Now how do we calculate the percentage of boys? Okay, so यहाँ पे तो कुछ फॉर्मूला अलग ही दिख रहा है हमें. So percentage हमें पता नहीं है, that is x divided by 100 as it is रहेगा. Total is what? Total is 1960. And how much boys are there? 1000 boys are there. See, यहाँ पे कुछ आपको अलग फॉर्मूला दिखाई दे रहा है. ओके, और मैंने कुछ अलग फॉर्मूला लिखा है. तो आपको यही फॉर्मूला याद रखना है जो मैंने नीचे लिखा है ना, यही फॉर्मूला आपको याद रखना है. इसी को हम मॉडिफाई करके कोई भी परसेंटेज की वैल्यू निकाल सकते हैं. नाउ वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट वैल्यू ऑफ परसेंटेज, दैट इज x. Okay, so take the x separate. How we can take x separately? This 100 goes into multiplication. So 1000 multiplied by 100 divided by 1960. Okay. So this is how we can calculate it. This zero goes with this, and you can do the so division, right? So you will get for 51%. So remember this formula. This formula will be helpful for you to calculate percentages. Now you have to calculate few of the percentages. Let's go ahead and calculate this. Kerala. Total are 1080, right? Now percentage of boys, calculate it. This is your task. Do it. Anyone? Percentage of boys. Total is it should be 2080, right? Okay, 1020 nahi. 2080. Total is 2080. Okay, Dheeraj has calculated 48%. Okay, we'll see. See, 1000 out of 2080 multiplied by 100. तो मैंने जो ऊपर का फॉर्मूला है वही कॉपी किया है. मैंने जो मेरा कन्वेंशनल फॉर्मूला फॉर्मूला है वो यूज नहीं किया है. ओके, मैंने आपके अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए वो फॉर्मूला दिया है, आप उसे यूज कीजिए. कंफ्यूज नहीं होना चाहिए आप कभी भी. ओके, सो इसके लिए मैंने वो फॉर्मूला दिया है. आई एम श्योर आई विल नॉट बी कंफ्यूजिंग, सो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेक यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला. ओके, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको कंफ्यूजन है तो यू कैन यूज दैट फॉर्मूला. नाउ आई विल बी डायरेक्टली कैलकुलेटिंग percentage here. So this zero gets cancelled with this zero. One zero is increased here. Okay. So 10,000 divided by 208. Now, how do we calculate it? Divide by 2 first. So 5,000 divided by how much? 104, right? 10,000 का half होगा 5,000. 208 का half होगा 1004. Again divide by 2. 2500 divide by 52. Great. Again 1050 divide by how much? 26. Correct. Now 725. No, it should not be 725. It should be 625. Correct. 625 divide by how much? 13. Okay. So these all are equal. Huh? Don't write it separately. I just wrote it separately. You don't do this. So now you can calculate 13 ones are 13, 13 twos are 26, 13 threes are 39, 13 fours are 52, right? 52. So 13 fours are 52. 10 is remaining. So 105, it becomes 105. 13 fives are 65. 13 eights are 13 sevens are 78. 91. 105, right? 8. So 48% should be the answer. Somebody already gave the answer, right? I think Dheeraj gave the answer. Okay, fine. So for 48% are boys. Yeah. Now, how much percent are girls? Can anyone tell without calculation? Obviously, it's 52%. Okay. Okay, fine. Now, statistics. Statistics में primary data is what? Secondary data is what? So, we'll see that primary and secondary data. It requires more time. It is up to date and detailed information. It is correct and reliable secondary data. It is readily available, so needs less time. It is taken from already collected data. It is not necessary up to date. It is not necessarily up to date. It may lack in details also. It may be less reliable. Okay. So primary data is the data which we gather or which we gather individually, okay, in more detailed form. So that is primary data. If we, let us suppose, if we go to each and every student and ask him or her the percentage, okay, so that will be primary data. But if we go to teachers of all the classes, and we took the information from them about the percentages of the individual students, so that collection will be called as secondary data, because that is readily available, right? So it is more time, it is less time consuming. So you have to classify secondary data and primary data. That is very easy. I don't think it is necessary to do that. Okay. Now, mean, median, mode, these things are there, so confusion is again there. Okay. So yeah, let's see how we can uh, go through the confusion thing. Just wait a minute. Okay, statistics is the last chapter, so no need to panic. We can do it. So that is the first statistic form, or the classification of data can be done in the form of inclusive method, discrete basis. So इसमें देखो क्या किया है हमने, कुछ क्लासेस बनाए हैं 6 to 10, 11 to 12, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. इसमें क्या है, ओवरलैपिंग बिल्कुल भी नहीं। ओके, सो 6 to 10 जो है वो 10 नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स है। 11 to 15 हमें कैलकुलेट करने करके यहाँ पे लिखना पड़ेगा, मतलब यहाँ पे ओवरलैपिंग नहीं है, सो दैट इज इजी, दैट इज इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड। ओके, so class, when observations are divided into suitable groups, each of the groups is called a class. Class limit, the end value of the classes are called class limits. For example, 6 to 10, the lower class limit is 6 and the upper class limit is 10. Frequency, the total number of observations in each class is called frequency of that class. In the above table, there are 20 observations in the class 10, sorry, class 11 to 15. Hence, frequency of the class 11 to 15 is 20. So this is how the definitions are. Class width or class size. Now the difference, that is difference between lower limit and the upper limit, is class width, class size, or class interval. Class mark. So this is very important. Class mark, the average of the lower class limit and the upper class limit for a given class is known as class mark. So I think I had asked this question to you in the your test as well, but a few of you were unable to give the answer. So that is class mark for you. Okay, lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2, that results into class mark. Okay, now that was inclusive method. Now this is exclusive method. In the exclusive method, see what we are doing. 6, 10, 10.5, 10, 15.5, 20, 12, 13 are given observation by taking classes 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, prepare group frequency distribution. So 6 to 10, how much are there? 1, 2, 1, 2 are there, 2 written. 11 to 15, 1, 2, 3, 3 is written. 16 to 20, 19 and 20, these two are there, so we took 2. In the above table, we could not include observations 10.3 and 15.7. So यहाँ पे 10.3 और 15.7 दिया है और यहाँ पे कुछ अलग दिया है, लेकिन हमें मतलब जो बात समझ नहीं है उस पर ध्यान देना है. ओके, सो वी कुड नॉट इंक्लूड दीज टू ऑब्जर्वेशन. Okay, because they doesn't belong to any of the class. So for this, what we will do, we will change the class limit, right? We will change the class limit so that 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and 20 to 25. So in such case, what we will do, the observation will be included in the lower class limit and not the upper class limit. Okay, so if let us suppose 15 is there, so 15 has to be included in what, in this or in this. If 15 is the observation, in which class it will be taken? अगर हमारी वैल्यू 15 है तो हमें 15 कौन से क्लास में लेना है, 10 to 15 या फिर 15 to 20? आपको क्वेश्चन समझ में आया? डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन? 15 to 20, right? Right. 50, if the 15 observation has to be included, it has to be included in the group whose lower limit is 15, right? Whose lower limit is 15. Upper limit 15 जिसका रहेगा उसमें हम 15 को ऐड नहीं कर सकते. Yeah. So complete the following table. इसमें कुछ भी कंप्लीट करना जैसा नहीं है. यहाँ पे कुछ हमें लाइंस ड्रॉ करनी है और यहाँ पे हमें वो लाइंस कैलकुलेट करके लिखना है. ठीक है, नंबर लिखना है. ओके. Less than cumulative frequency, less than the upper class limit. The following information is regarding marks in mathematics obtained out of 40 scored by 50 students of 9th standard in the first unit test. Okay. So see, class interval is 0 to 10, frequency is 2, 10 to 20, 12, 20 to 30, frequency is 20, 30 to 40, frequency is 16. From the above table, class interval 10 to 20, the lower limit is 10 and the upper limit is 20. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या रहेगा, 10 रहेगा, upper limit is 20 रहेगा. Now for how many students obtain marks less than 10? How many students obtain mark less than 10? 2 students obtain. How many students obtain mark less than 20? Now marks less than 20, अभी marks के ये हमारी जो limit है ना, less than 20. So 12 plus 2, 12 plus 2, that is 14. Okay. How many students obtain marks less than 30? So we have to include this also. 20 plus 14, that is 34. Like 34 plus 16, that is 50. Okay. How many students obtain marks less than 40? That is 50 students obtain marks less than 40, because maximum marks were 40 and none of the student actually got marks 40. So that's why, or maybe more than 40. So that's why we can say 40, all of them, 50, all of them all of the students have got marks less than 40. Okay, so we can prepare the table like this. How we can prepare the table like this? 0 to 10 में कितने students हैं? 2 students हैं, right? Now 10 to 20, 14 students हैं. 20 to 30, 34 students हैं. 30 to 40, 50 students हैं. मतलब 50 students got marks less than 40. Okay, so इस तरह से हमने एक टेबल प्रिपेयर कर लिया. So this is the table for less than the cumulative frequency. Okay, this is the table for what? Less than type cumulative frequency. This table, this second column. Okay, first column is the normal column. This is the normal column, and this is the less than type cumulative frequency. ये हमें ध्यान में रखना है. Now, cumulative frequency more than or equal to the lower class limit. So 50 students got 0 or more than 0 marks. 50 students got, मतलब सभी को 0 से ज्यादा ही मिला है, 0 या फिर 0 से ज्यादा सभी को मिला है. But 48 students got 10 और मोर देन 10, मतलब उसका उल्टा। ठीक है ना, अभी जो पहले हमने जो टेबल किया था ना, उसमें क्या था कि लेट अस सपोज 10 मार्क्स से कम मार्क्स कितने स्टूडेंट्स को मिले, तो हमने कहा था 2 स्टूडेंट्स को मिले हैं। अभी हमें क्या पूछा जा रहा है कि 10 मार्क्स से ज्यादा कितने स्टूडेंट्स को मिले। सो वी आर डूइंग दैट, समझ रहे हो, क्युमुलेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसी मोर देन और इक्वल टू द लोअर क्लास लिमिट। पहले हम किसकी बात कर रहे थे, अपर क्लास लिमिट की, 10 से कम, 20 से कम, 30 से कम, 40 से कम। नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द लोअर लिमिट, 0 से ज्यादा, 10 से ज्यादा, 20 से ज्यादा एंड 30 से ज्यादा। हाउ मेनी स्टूडेंट्स हैव गॉट मार्क्स मोर देन 30, सो विल से 16 स्टूडेंट्स हैव गॉट मार्क्स मोर देन 30। ओके, सो इसी तरह से हमें एक टेबल प्रिपेयर कर रहे होते हैं। अगर आप टेबल प्रिपेयर कर पाते हो तो बाकी सारी चीजें तो सॉल्व करना इजी है। नाउ मेजर ऑफ सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी, मेजर ऑफ सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी में देयर आर 3 टर्म्स। फर्स्ट वन इज मीन। मीन के लिए हमें डेटा को अरेंज करने की जरूरत नहीं है इन अकॉर्डिंग टू असेंडिंग ऑर्डर और डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर, जस्ट ऐड द डेटा, ऐड द डेटा, total number of observations, how many observations are there. For this particular example, 5 observations are there, divide by 5, add all the data and divide by 5, so that will be your mean, right? So this is how mean is calculated. So if the data is given humongous data is given or huge data is given, so you can use the tabular formats. Okay, so for 14, 15, 16, 17 up to 40, you can make the table and you can find out the frequency, that is fi, and the fi xi, that is multiplication of frequency with the marks. Okay, so your mean will be समेशन ऑफ एफ आई एक्स आई, मतलब कि ये जो टेबल है ना, थर्ड टेबल की समेशन डिवाइडेड बाय एन, एन इज व्हाट, एन इज नंबर ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन, सो observations not is the, observations mean not this. Okay, so this summation of fi, that is the summation of observations n. So this is how you can calculate, right? Now median. So median के लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ता है, the scores are arranged in ascending or descending order. The number appearing exactly in the middle position in this order are known as median of the observation. If the number of observations is even, then the median is average of the middle two numbers. Okay, so अगर हमें ये डेटा दिया है तो इसे हमें क्या करना है, असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में या फिर डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में हमें अरेंज करना है, एंड आफ्टर अरेंजिंग विल सी which number is coming at the middle position. So 54, 63, 66, 72, 78, 87 and 92. This is the ascending order arrangement of the data, and leave these three, the middle one is 72, that is our median. Okay, so this data number of elements in the data are odd. Okay, odd element है ना, देखो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 7 elements are there, so 7 is an odd number. But let us suppose if we have given data in the even form, or observations are even, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, so 10 observations are there, we have to find median of this. So in such cases we will first of all arrange in ascending or descending order, and then we will take middle two elements. How? See, leave this 4, leave this 4 and take this 2, so that will be 33 plus 32 divided by 2, that will be the median. Right, median. Now mode, the score which is repeated maximum number of times in the given data is known as the mode of the data. So see, this data is given, actually there is no need of arranging the data in ascending or descending order, but for our convenience purpose we do that. Okay, so we'll arrange in ascending or descending order, and we'll see which data is repeated maximum number of times. For this case, 55 is repeated 3 times, 75 is repeated 2 times, so apparently it is 55 which has to be the mode. Okay, maximum number of times agar data repeat hota hai, so that is mode. Okay, I hope you understand this. So is there anything? No, yeah, there's nothing. than this. Okay, so we had done the complete revision of two chapters. Okay, if you still have any kind of a doubt, anytime you can contact me on the WhatsApp. You can send me the doubts on the WhatsApp, right? So now 10 minutes are remaining. If anyone is having any kind of a doubt regarding syllabus or your any kind of doubt, you can ask by turning on your mic. Just put your name in the chat box and then turn on your mic. Okay, no doubt. Dheeraj is having no doubt. Anything else? Anyone? Anyone else wants to talk with me? If yes, put your name in the chat box. And if you don't have doubt, you can put no doubt. Okay. Students, I'm waiting for your reply. I hope everyone is listening to me and you people will give me response very soon. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Maitreya is again having no doubt. Fine. Avigna, Anuj left. Avigna and Jay, you two people are remaining only. Okay. So अगर आपको कोई डाउट है, in case if you find any difficulty in maths 1 or maths 2, no problem. Okay, you can always contact me regarding your academics. Okay, is that fine? Chalo then, yeah, that's it for today, students. We'll mostly meet in the mostly meet on next Tuesday. Okay, so our lecture will be on Tuesday only from here on, right? Yeah, so fine. Bye bye, everyone. You can leave the meeting. Yeah, yeah, bye. Jay, you can leave the meeting. Jay, you can leave the meeting, please.